Hello, welcome to Active Baking. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make my chocolate and banana cake. This video is part of a series of videos I'm doing called Season Specials. So each season of the year, I'm choosing an ingredient that is typically associated with that season. For winter this year, I've chosen chocolate. It's one of my favourite ingredients to use, so I'm having a lot of fun developing my recipes for you. This video will be structured into two parts. You have the chocolate and banana cake, and then you have the cream cheese frosting to go on top. If you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think in the comments below. You can also follow me on Instagram at Active Baking, which is all one word, and you'll find the written version of my recipe in the description. Let's get started. To make our chocolate and banana sponge, you will need 200 grams of milk chocolate grated, 4 overripe large bananas mashed, 200 grams of caster sugar, 300 grams of self-raising flour, a tablespoon of vanilla extract, 15 grams of cocoa powder, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 200 grams of unsalted butter at room temperature and cubed, and 4 eggs, and a pinch of salt. Before preparing our ingredients, we also need to grease an 8-inch springform tin. So to grease it, you'll just need a small amount of butter, no more than 5 to 10 grams really, and then you can either use your fingers or a bit of kitchen roll, and then you just spread it around the tin, just making sure that you get it nice and even all over. To mix the batter for our banana and chocolate cake, I'm using my stand mixer. However, you can also use a hand mixer. That works perfectly well as well. For the stand mixer though, I'm using my K-mixer attachment, as this works best when dealing with kind of firm substances like butter. So to start with, we are going to cream our butter and sugar together in our mixer. And just attach that on. Now that the butter and sugar have creamed together, we're just going to scrape it off the attachment. And now we're going to add our banana and vanilla. So we've got our mashed banana, which we can just pour in. It helps to have a spatula handy as well, just to scrape off the batter from the edge of the mixer if it gets stuck. And the vanilla. And we're going to continue mixing this until combined. So we're just going to lift this up because a lot of the time the butter gets stuck at the bottom and it sticks, and so we don't want this. So it can help just to have like a spatula to scrape it off the bottom and sides of the bowl. Yeah, you can see a big lump of butter's just come up there. And we'll try again. Now that has nicely mixed together, we're just going to add the chocolate and eggs. I definitely recommend adding the eggs one at a time. So you can either add the chocolate or the eggs first, it's up to you. I'm just going to move this slightly so I can pour this in. And then I'm just going to add one of the eggs. and then mix together. And then just add the eggs one at a time. You can take this as an opportunity to scrape down your attachment and bowl again. Like I mentioned, you do not have to use a stand mixer, you can use an electric hand whisk. It works just as well. Finally, we add all of our remaining ingredients. So these are all the dry ingredients, which are our flour, pinch of salt, cocoa powder and baking powder. And we can just pour these all in. And then on a slower speed, combine it. And then we'll mix it for a final kind of 10-20 seconds. Okay. And this is the final scrape down of our attachment, which you can then remove and wash afterwards. Next, we can pour our cake mixture into our tin. We can now smooth it down so that it's the same height all the way around. You can give it a little shake, that sometimes helps. We can now place this onto a baking tray and put in the oven for around 1 hour and 15 minutes. I would set an alarm for 1 hour though, and then check on it, see how it's baking, put a skewer through the middle and see whether it's wet when it comes out. If it is still wet, put it back in for another 15 minutes. The cake has now been in the oven for around 1 hour and 15 minutes, so we're just going to put a skewer through it, through the middle, and have a look. And it does look fairly clean and dry. So we are now going to remove it from the oven. And place it on a surface to cool completely before adding on our cream cheese. For the cream cheese frosting, you will need 600 grams of plain cream cheese, 300 grams of icing sugar, and half a lemon, which is optional if you want a squeeze of lemon juice as well. We can now put all of these ingredients together in the bowl. I'm using my stand mixer, but you can also use an electric hand mixer. Completely up to you and what you have access to. Icing sugar I find is a complete nightmare to work with because it just puffs up in a cloud of smoke whenever you touch it. So I've got my stand mixer purely because it comes with a lid, which is perfect, so it'll stop my kitchen becoming a mess. So I'm just gonna turn this on. Let's lift that up and see. Ooh. Yeah, that's combined into a lovely creamy mixture. I have my spatula, so I'm just going to scrape as much of it off as I can. When adding our cream cheese frosting, you have two options. You can either just cover the whole of the outside of the cake, so top and sides, and have it like that. Or if you like, you can have it so that it's a layered cake. So if we cut this in half lengthways, and then put some cream cheese frosting in the middle, and then also decorate the top. If you are wanting to slice it in half, you can use a bread knife. I also have my fancy cutting tool, which is basically just a thin wire that's held quite tight. And then you put it on the same level, and then you can slowly move it across. Have a plate nearby and both your hands nice and clean. Or you can use a spatula. It's completely up to you. So we lift that up and over. And now we can apply half of our cream cheese frosting. It might be nice to have a palette knife nearby to help you smooth it over, but we could just dollop half of this on. So that's about half. And to help me smooth it around evenly, I am going to place it onto my turntable. And then we can just do this. And now we can add the top of the cake back on. And add the rest of the cream cheese. And there we have our cake. It's completely up to you if you want to decorate it with anything extra. I'm just gonna drop a couple of walnuts on there. Scatter them about. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this recipe today. If you do try this recipe, please let me know how it goes in the comments below. If you would like to see more videos like this in the future, then please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram @ActiveBaking, and this is where I post regular updates of what I'm baking, including recipes that I'm trying and also my original recipes. My next chocolate recipe is being released next weekend, so do keep an eye out on my Instagram for what that is. I'll be doing a post letting you know on the Saturday and then releasing the video and the recipe on the Sunday. Thank you again for watching. Have a lovely day. Bye.